Nick Bonito reminiscing about his first career sack, which came the last time the Broncos were over in London.
And now they're back. That was way back in 2022. That feels like a completely different era of Broncos football, because if you're playing a trivia game, Russell Wilson was our QB and Nathaniel Hackett was the head coach. Bonito isn't the only one, though, to take a trip down memory lane. Our jack of all trades, Jack Linnehan, is here with a look back at the Broncos' international history. Jack?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more because we've had, again, this is the second game this year in the last 3 seasons, but they've only actually played twice in London before this upcoming Sunday. The first one, back in 2010, it was the Josh McDaniels era, if you can remember that, and not a lot of people want to remember that. They lost 24-16 to the San Francisco 49ers. They blew an early 10-3 lead. It was just the mark of a bad year. They dropped to 2-6. They hit the bye week. They kept on losing. 4-12 overall on the year. And, of course, McDaniels gets fired before the season even ends. But they had better luck the second time around, 2022. If you'll remember, this is the Russell Wilson high knees on the plane game. It's back and forth with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but Russ brings them down the field, end of the game, a few minutes left on a game-winning drive. They win 21-17. They improve to 3-5, snapping a 4-game losing streak, entering the bye. And Broncos country's thinking, hey, okay, maybe things are going to turn around. They didn't. They lost 5 straight games after that. Nathaniel Hackett also fired before the season comes to an end. They finish the year 5-12. So, I mean, a couple things. Every time they play in London, they lose 12 games, and the coach gets fired before the end of the season. I don't think that's going to happen this time around, but we'll see if the third time is the charm for them to flip the script on that.
It's a good thing these guys aren't superstitious like that.
No.
So, Jack, I know you love the numbers. It took 12 years for the Broncos to return to London for a second time, then just 3 years to return a third time. These international games are becoming a prominent part of the NFL schedule, really.
Yeah, they're really leaning into the international games. This international series started back in 2007, and it was only in the United Kingdom until 2016, and that's when they played their first game in Mexico. This year, they are playing 7 games outside of the United States, the most ever for any NFL season. And if you look at the disparity here, I mean, the United Kingdom, as we said, for 9 or 10 years, it was the only country that they were playing games in outside the U.S. So that is the clear leader at 42 games, 4 games in Mexico, 4 games in Germany, 2 in Brazil, 1 in Ireland, and then later this year, Spain is going to host a game for the first time ever, and next year, Australia will be hosting a game, the first time it'll ever be held there. And another thing about the NFL's expansion internationally, they launched this thing a few years ago called International Home Marketing Areas, and basically what it is every team got a specific country outside the U.S. that they could directly market in. And for the Broncos, that's Mexico. It's a 5-year stint through 2027, and you know, the NFL is a very successfully financial league as a whole. But what's interesting, according to an article from the Sports Business Journal earlier this year, through 3 years, the revenue from those international home marketing areas, basically non-existent. It's basically a rounding error. Not a lot of marketing is coming from these international countries, but I think it's less about the revenue and just more about getting the word out, growing the game. The dollars will come in later, and they're not strapped for cash at all.
They're not struggling. It's the presence factor.
Yeah, and I was wondering, is there the demand from over there, or is this the NFL trying to create demand from some other place? And there's the answer.
It certainly feels like the NFL is pushing the narrative on that one.
Certainly does.
Thanks for that little trivia game, Jack. We appreciate it.